It's 7:30, so hey, what's that my favorite song today? Let's see. Don't go chasing. Oh my gosh, I'm laughing at the early bird. You know yourself, joining early is not going to redeem you from all your sins. Hey guys, don't go chasing waterfalls. I'm having a good time. Guess what? I'm home alone. I'm home alone. Abandoned by my own family. But it means that I have the privacy to do what I need to do, to talk to my friends. Hello everybody. If you're on my, guys, I see you, I see everybody, the school director, Okabiala, Omalichanwa, thank you so much. If you're here, if you're following me, you already know what this evening is about. It's Winifred Unusual and Friends. This is when we catch up and talk about our passion, our dreams, what we'd like to become, the other life that we want to have, and try and get the courage to be able to, build that now. So today, I actually got something interesting about passion that I said I'm going to read to you guys. I hope you can hear me. Please let me know. So it says that passion is the fuel that entrepreneurs need to keep going. Passion is a key predictor of an entrepreneur's creativity, persistence, and venture performance. In other words, the more passionate the entrepreneur is, the more likely they are to succeed. So if you're joining us for the first time, this session is Winifred Unusual and Friends. I try to talk about the passion that we each have. I believe first of all, that there can be multiple expressions of one person. I don't believe anybody was born, with just one gift, to come to this world, do one thing and then leave. I think that everybody has a gifting. And the essence of this is to ask ourselves questions that will make us reach inside our hearts and find out what we really, an expression that perhaps we haven't quite put to test, that I would like to explore and then hopefully birth it. So that's why I'm talking. And the essence of it is, apart from getting the learning, I'm really hoping that people will walk away determined to go and pursue what makes their heart sing, determined to go and pursue what they really like and build something out of nothing. And interestingly, this evening, we actually, beyond talking about what we like and our passion, I actually want to take it a step further and talk about how you can turn, what's that thing, that nice cliche, your passion from passion to profit, to actually making it profitable, building it up. And it's very important to know that for you to build it up means you have to run it, develop it yourself. And we just read that passion is actually what you need to keep you going, because at some point it's going to get tough. So I always try to make this light-hearted but definitely impactful. We start with singing. We have a lot of fun. This evening I'm very excited to say that I'm having Ngozi. I don't know how many of you are very active on social media, from Ngeeshow. Now she's somebody who I admire because she's kept a career with an FMCG for several years. But she's also been very active in the creative industry, and she's run both side by side sensibly. So I thought I should bring her on board to share with us how she's managed, because I get that question a lot. I have a regular 9 to 5, but I'm interested in this. What do I do? Should I dump one for the other? It's not about just dumping one, because at the end of the day, you need to pay your bills. And that's conversation for another day. There's a right time to take the next step. So this young lady that is coming in has managed to run both, keeping her career and growing her online activity. So I've invited her to come and share with us. Ngozi, if you're here now, you can request to come on the live video and I'll bring you on. I did warn you that you will have to sing for us when you come. Hi, so I hope that you're ready with that song. But while I'm waiting for, and by the way, Ngozi was supposed to have been here last week, but life happened. She couldn't be here, but we're happy that we have her today. So we're excited. Even I am gearing up and looking forward to that. Ngozi, so I'm ready for you now. But while I'm waiting for her, I want to share a few more tips that I put down on passion. Ngozi, can you request to come on the live video? So let's bring you on. We want to see your face. I put down a few notes for us on passion. So I want to share that. If you're just joining us for, oops. Okay, I'm getting I don't know how many of us can read the chat. I'm getting a message, a prompt from Ngee that it's not letting her join. Is your Instagram handle updated? Is your Instagram updated? Are you using the updated version? Because if you're not, then it means you're going to disappoint your friends again this evening. And after this, the next time I tell them I'm bringing Ngee on, they're going to say, no way, they're not listening. So you need to check. It is, right? Then it should. Okay, guys, we'll give you a few minutes. While you're doing that, I made a few notes because, and I was going to say, for benefit of those who are just joining, if this is your first time, this is, because you're cracking me up with your comments. This is what I call WinifredUnusual and Friends. We hang out and then we talk about, I usually like to keep it lighthearted and simple. Life is already hard enough, right? So we discuss the other interests that we have besides whatever it is that we're doing now, whether you have a regular 9 to 5 or you have a business, you know, that you're running, but there's something else. And I've brought on different guests. It's interesting. Now, I'm building a new network. And more of my friends are people in the creative industry, and it's interesting to find that a lot of our actors that you find are actually people who have other careers, medical doctors, teachers, engineers, people who have a different, in their previous world did something different, but because of the love and passion they have for acting, they've gone on to do that. So I've been bringing a lot of such people, you know, on to tell us how it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of confidence, it takes conviction, and it takes somebody who wants to forge ahead to be able to, okay, there she is, to be able to sugar, no, it's not, okay, 1 second. Now, yeah, so I was saying that it takes a lot of courage to be able to push forward and birth that other side of you. Okay. Sugar. Hi. How did you request to join?
Yes.
Oh, okay, you did. Okay. Because I saw a request from you and then I saw from
Okay.
Ngee.
I didn't know what to do. How do I go?
You're in trouble. So now that you're here.
Please.
Oh my goodness. So maybe your request was getting in the way of Ngozi's request, because I saw Ngozi's request asking to be brought on, and then I saw yours and I said, you know, are you guys,
Please, how do I?
didn't come in. So Lillian's vlog, you're interrupting my.
I'm sorry. How do I get up? Because
Oh my goodness, I have no clue. I suggest you just go.
okay.
I have no clue. And Ngozi is itching to come. Ngozi, you need to send your request again, guys. I am really so sorry. Lilia, you just have to, you know, just go off. Yeah, that's it. So back to you, Ngozi. Yours didn't come on. You need to try again now because the interruption is no more there. While I read, for benefit of those who have just come on, I said we're talking about our passion. So I just want to reiterate this because I see that I have more people than when we first started. I put this down because I found it very inspiring. It says that passion is a field that entrepreneurs need to keep going. The essence of this is to help you find what you really like and then the courage to start it. So at the end of the day, we want you to walk away with something. That's why I'm bringing this out. And that something could ultimately be entrepreneurship or you starting something on the side, even if you're going to have somebody running it for you, right? So passion is that field that you need to keep going. Our research shows that passion is a key predictor of an entrepreneur's creativity, persistence, and venture performance. In other words, the more passionate you are or an entrepreneur is, the more likely they are to succeed in what they're doing. So the more passionate you are, it looks like Ngozi again is really struggling to come on. That would be so disappointing, but nevertheless, we'll make this worth our while and just take the tidbits of the lessons. It's really meant to be a quick chat and quick catch up. We'll give her a few more minutes, hoping she can join, but I'll just take us through the notes that I had for us. So it's very important. Why we do this is for you to dig deep, find out what you like, and then when you do, it sort of gives you the courage to go on. And then, that's okay, Ngozi, I'm going to post, that's fine. I get a message from her saying she's struggling with getting on. So what I'm going to do, we did have a few questions for you. So I'm going to pick a couple of those because I want the people to learn from your story. So you can just type in and then I'm sure everybody can read the chats and I can just mention a few. So obviously we can't take everything, but one or two. Ngozi, there's a suggestion for you to leave the live and rejoin. So you can try that, and then if it doesn't work out, I will just pose the questions and then you type in one or two responses. So if you can just leave and then try and rejoin, right? Okay, yes, exactly. Oh, you already did that before, but you try and do that again. That's fine. So while we're waiting for her, I put down a few things. So for people who have really found their passion, now I see a request, but it's combined with someone else, IJ Lifestyle and Ngeeshow. I don't know who it's going to bring on when I accept this. IJ Lifestyle, can you please not request? Because it's trying to bring you up, and it's not IJ Lifestyle that I want to bring up. It's NG that I want to bring up. Try joining another live and it works. Yeah, so Ngozi, can you try that again? So while we're waiting for her to try, I want to give us, because we've been doing this for a while and a couple of people have sent me their responses, what they're interested in, they're sure about it. So I thought that in addition to whatever we're going to do today with NG, that I'll share a few tips for people who have found what they're interested in exploring. So how do you take that next step, right? 5 quick tips. The first thing is, so dream big, imagine all that you can about that thing that you want to do. I had a conversation with a young lady who, thank you for joining in, with a young lady who's interested in flowering and gardening and everything to do with running a flower garden. So she's on that journey. So beyond just having a flower, she's dreaming of a flower garden. She's dreaming about everything to do with flowers, to making scents out of it, to making potpourris and all of that. So dream big. Visualize, it's your dream, so visualize the whole thing, however big you want to make it. Because you can, exit and try to join again, and let's see if that works. So when you've done all your dreaming, the thing about it is that you probably would have put down the whole value chain because you've imagined everything possible, right? Now keep your... Winifred, can I send her a request? Okay, I'll try and do that, but I'll just quickly go through this, and then you and I can go through that, and then if it doesn't work, we just might have to miss having you again for the second week running, because I'm not even sure how to send her a request to come in. If anybody knows, you can put that in the chat room. Okay, let's see. I've seen that. Okay, give me a moment, guys. Let me try and send the request directly to her. Yep, I've seen it. Send the request. So, Angie, I've sent you the request. I hope you get it and I hope you join in.
Go
Finally.
Let me tell you something.
Finally, Ngozi, honestly, village people, I believe this one is village. Oh my goodness.
They thought they had me, but I was like, listen, boo, not today.
You know what? We've been so excited to have you. So I was gonna take my people through a few quick 5 points that I put down, but I'm gonna save. No. I'm gonna put that because we normally do 30 minutes. We've done about 40. I want them to get the full benefit from you, so I'm gonna save that for later. And we're gonna go straight to your questions, Ngozi. We're so happy to have you. So tell us about you and about Ngeeshow.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Ngozi, popularly known as NG. I think every Ngozi is NG. Ngo. I think they call every Ngozi NG. Yeah, I've been in the 9 to 5 for as long as I remember. In fact, I was saying to someone I just did 16 years this year, at least,
Wow.
yeah, since moving back to Nigeria. But about 8 years ago, this passion of Ngozi, you talk too much when I was in primary school. If I didn't make list of noisemakers, then the prefect was not. Yes, either the prefect was not doing their work, or the prefect was like my cousin or friend. In case I didn't make the list, but I always made the list of noisemakers because I was either always telling a story or narrating something else that somebody else did. And even, when something would happen to us as a group of friends, we want to gist somebody else. Ngozi, tell it. And then I had a passion for photography, so I picked up my camera one day and I put it in front of me and I recorded an episode.
Oh wow.
And I thought, oh, this is not bad, right? So I thought I should do a show. And I'd call it the NG show. Oh my God, so cool, right? And people mood board. And this is another thing about people telling you how to do your thing, right? As opposed to you doing it how. There's nothing wrong with learning from people, but there's a way that it hits you and you need to be authentically you. So when I said I wanted to do this show, they said, oh, you have to get a studio, then you get the studio audience, because you need a stylist. So the budget hairstylist, dresser, it works with my very big head. Ngozi went. I got a studio in Oregon, in Lagos. We got studio audience. If you try studio this in Nigeria, you're setting yourself up.
Wow.
Just by and then I got a stylist who dressed me, fitted dress. I got makeup, and long and short of the story, we recorded that episode with some guests, or 2 to 3 episodes, and they ended up under my pillow and never saw the light of day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because by the time I watched them, I said, I don't know who that person is. I was sitting so properly. I was speaking well. I was like, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Fast forward 6 months later, I did another episode in my living room. That episode was entitled Things That We Did in 2012 That We're Not Going to Do in 2013.
I think I watched that one.
And that was my very first episode that went on YouTube. And maybe like 2 weeks later, my brother forwarded it to me. Somebody random had forwarded it to him. I said, so in your mind now, you know. I said, no, I haven't. Why? What happened? And he said, somebody sent me this episode, and the person said, isn't this person looks like you? And he said, that's my sister. Hey. And so I realized that people wanted to hear what I wanted to say. And they were enjoying the conversation. So I just kept on doing it. That's the summary of it. I want to say I like to sing, but I feel like you're going to make me sing. You said you will sing, Abby.
Yes. And that's the second request. I wanted to start easy. Okay, introduce yourself, how you came, this whole journey, and then please come on, Ngozi. We know you sing in the choir. I've heard you on that number you did with Chi Girl one Christmas. Do you remember? So please give us a few lines.
What did we sing? What did we sing? I don't remember what we sang.
The two of you did. Was it something from Sound of Music?
Oh, Edelweiss.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. It was so amazing.
But it's nice with Chi Girl because then there's a harmony. So now I don't know.
Don't worry, just go ahead. There's Oma in the crowd, in the audience, who has been itching. Oma, if you're still there, maybe we'll get you to be humming behind. Okay, so go on, because we want to hear you.
To sing Edelweiss. Do you want me to sing?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I would have sung maybe something from R. Kelly, but I think a lot of people cancelled him. He breaks my heart. I mean, I still love his music. I don't care. But I'm
not sure the audience here will mind. I'm not sure the guests will mind.
I was in the tunnel and couldn't see the light. And whenever I looked up, I couldn't see the sky. No, no. Sometimes when I'm standing, it feels like I've been running for miles. My heart could be crying, dead in the middle of a smile. Oh, oh. Then I climbed the hills and saw the mountains. I hollered help because I was lost. I felt a strong wind and a small voice saying, the storm is over, storm
Time is
over.
over now.
I can see the sunshine somewhere beyond the clouds. And I feel heaven is
Heaven is.
over me.
I'm reading the comments.
Come on and set me free. Set me free.
No, give us the chorus part.
I did already.
Somehow my beginnings start
Fight again, and faith became my friend. Now I can even the voices of the wind, and they're saying the storm
Time is
is over
over now.
now. I can see the
Thank you so much. Now, Angie, I want to say something quickly, right? Why I wanted you in particular to do this. I always say that there are different expressions of one person. You have a real gift with singing, and I'm so glad that you sing in the choir. You know, you have a regular 9 to 5. I mean, if you chose to pursue that creative side of you, you could develop it into something, you know. But and I say this when I'm taking people through this, when I'm saying find out the things you like. You'll probably come up with a long list of things. So you can probably mention singing as part of the things that you like, but you're not necessarily pursuing that, you know. So back to this creative side, the story of the birth of Ngeeshow. We worked together, and I know that, so I must say that you've done an amazing job of keeping your passion and your career. How have you been able to do that, and what advice or tips do you have for people?
I will say that the passion was my escape from the craziness of the 9 to 5, right? You find that with a 9 to 5, especially when you get higher up the ladder, becomes extremely mentally demanding. And when that happens, you start to go from work to house, from work to house, and the stress of house, the stress of work, and all that. You need to find something that gives you peace, right? So the first thing was choir. So Tuesday and Thursday I have choir practice, and singing hymns just gives me, I promise you, when I sing hymns, I feel at rest. But then it wasn't enough, right? I needed to channel my energy somewhere. And so what the Ngeeshow did for me was actually give me an escape from the 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And then I found that I had a passion for telling stories. I had a passion for seeing something and telling it my own way. And then I realized that people enjoyed listening. So I just kept going. There's something we say in any marketing company or any FMCG. Most people, the big ones will always say they're consumer obsessed. So I kind of became consumer obsessed, but not too much. Consumer obsessed in the sense that I started trying to always understand what people wanted to hear, how to hear it, and finding the Ngee way of telling that story. And that's what kept it important. As I rose higher up the ladder, it became sometimes a bit, not difficult, but I had to apply more wisdom. Because, you know, Nigeria, there's a management style. When you're becoming a senior manager, you have to look like a senior manager. I'm a manager. I do not behave like a senior manager. Senior managers talk,
The strategic language and
that gave me a headache. But I needed to adjust, to bring Ngee into the boardroom
yeah,
without being a nuisance,
yeah.
right? So once I was able to find that balance, it allowed me to thrive on the Ngee show. So everything I couldn't say in the office, once I get in front of Boy, let me tell y'all something. Listen, you know. But then after a while, um, the NG show started to really, and that's why I took a break.
Yes.
It started to fly. You know, I got a call from DSTV. I put it on the show. Hey, I remember my mom, God rest her beautiful soul. Oh, have you ever put the TV? It's 11 a.m. Nah, it's going to be on TV. And it started to fly. I had to check it, and I made a plan, and I said, if I want this thing to get to a point where I don't keep a 9 to 5, what do I need to do? And when I saw what was involved, in my opinion, I couldn't do it at the time. So I slowed it down and focused on my 9 to 5. And now I'm at a point where the income that I get from the NG show, which is, I don't think we've reached that stage yet, but I tell you why I'm saying this. Because you have to find a balance. You spend money to record. So now I have my own camera, I have my own lights and stuff like that. My production costs are quite small, but I get income from YouTube. I get income from DSTV wants to purchase a season, and that balances off with how much I spend on production. I'm not an Instagram comedian. I'm not make all these skits and they call you and pay you money to make skits. I don't think that I could do that. Maybe I could, but I don't want to. And if I did that, then that would be another channel of income because they make quite a lot of money. So for me, I've always wanted to keep the 9 to 5, but get that supplementary income from NG. So like now I do public speaking events. I'm not an MC. I did it once. Pay your MCs money. That job is not easy. Let me tell you, you crack a joke, everybody looking at you like you want to bury.
Yes.
You know? So I do public speaking events. I want to do a fun friends, not a conference, but a fun friends. NG and friends.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I know it's in the works. But so there are other ways that I'm making the income, but I'm keeping my 9 to 5 because I like it. I enjoy my work.
You know, you've said a lot of things, and I just want to bring that out quickly for the benefit of those listening. You've talked about the fact that, you know, sometimes, how do I put it? Your happiness may not necessarily come from your work or your business, right? Because there's something else that you want. So you find an outlet for that passion. You have to find, because you have a fantastic job, but somehow it wasn't doing that for you. So you had to find an outlet. Then there's also the part about finding the balance and being smart enough to know that you still need to keep this for whatever reason. You're learning something from the job, it's paying certain bills, but you're starting to fund this. I'm saying this because people ask me, should I jump from my regular and just jump into my passion? And I'm like, no.
Lord of Jesus.
Exactly, until you're able to build it, you know, and all of that, and then just juggling both. So I want to ask quickly, how do you scale you, because you've done it, you know, you're something that is your passion, to start making profits? How do you build it? Because now you're monetized on YouTube, and what else did you say? You know, how were you deliberate about it? Did it just happen?
No, it didn't just happen. I was deliberate about it. At the beginning, I wasn't monetizing because I thought I don't want adverts. I don't like ads. And then I realized, they pay the bills, right? So it was deliberate because it didn't make sense anymore not to make money when you're spending, because otherwise it's a hobby, and that's the difference. And it's okay for you to have if that hobby gives you the balance that you need to then focus on your 9 to 5, that's okay. But I knew that the NG show could be more than a hobby. So what I did was I was intentional about putting myself out there. We also have a lot of pride as people. Like, this thing self, I can't. Me, I don't have pride. If you know me, pride is a very, something one of my friends, your helper, not be gisting with you on the phone and be talking to you as if you're mates. You are my help, I'm not your mate. Please don't gist with me as if I don't need your help. So I have a lot of humility, and I realized that I wanted to monetize. And so I called a couple of people who knew people at Google, and I asked them, how can I monetize my show on YouTube? How much do you pay? What kind of content makes a lot of money? I found out that feminine content, it tells you that women are the ones that spend time on YouTube. So female skewed content, children's content, educational content, stuff like that makes a lot of money. In fact, the least paying content is men's stuff, like men's sports, because maybe they watch it on. So They told me how much. They said, oh, they pay you per 1,000 views. So I knew how many views I needed to get. So I started publicizing my views. I put a small bit of money into marketing, so promoting my content. I started telling my friends, if you don't go and watch my video, we are going to have problems. More importantly, the video is nice, go and watch it. So I started, so I was very, very intentional about it. Very intentional about also finding the balance between family and that, because I'm recording at home. If you don't have a partner, there'll be wahala. If you have young kids, also tough. So I had to find the balance between that. But I knew for sure I needed to be intentional. I saw a guy who worked at DSTV that I had met before, and I spoke to him and he said, oh my God, it's true, you have a show, let's talk about it. So I brought it up, we talked about it, and he said, give me 13 episodes. And I was like, how much I'll pay? And he said, I was like, oh yes. And so I gave him, and I did 13 more. So I did 2 seasons. That was like 3 years ago. And I'm going to do another set now. I'm actually in production now for another set for this.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you so much. There's one last question that I think people would like to hear. So what do you do? How do you overcome fear? Because a lot of people, fear is always, it's not easy to, fear, the knowledge to even know. You had to do research, you found out about YouTube, and all of that. And then you had the boldness to walk up to people and say, guide me, and all of that. So when somebody is scared, nervous, unsure, how do they overcome that to be able to move forward?
I wish I had the answer to that question. I keep thinking that people who have nothing to lose don't have fear. I've always had something to lose. I've never been hungry. I've never needed to beg for food. You know what I mean? I always feel like people who are comfortable, you're not as driven as the uncomfortable ones. So I have had fear that I didn't overcome. And I know that I've lost a lot of opportunities based on that. So what I then realized is that I overcome my fear by remembering what I lost when I gave in to the fear. And if you haven't had anything, check what you lose. I use my phone a lot. I write a lot of notes. I make a lot of voice notes. When I think something, because before I used to feel very hot. No, it's okay, I'll remember. Lies. Forget. So the minute I think about something scares me, I make a voice note of it. And then I go back, and when I forget to do something, because I was afraid, I wanted to call one uncle because I wanted to use his house to do one recording. And I thought, that's how I'll call him. He will say no now. He now says, no, I have to go and pay. I don't have the money to go and pay for that location. And if I call this person, she will say, and you're afraid of calling people, afraid of getting a no. And I realized, oh my God, there's this book that I read that blew my mind. Hey, Winifred, I'll find the name of the book and I'll send it to you so you can. The power of this guy did an experiment where he took the things that he knew that people would say no to and went ahead and started asking people those things, just so that he could overcome.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh wow.
It's a, and I don't read self-help books. They annoy me. Rich Dad Poor Dad and all those people. I don't like them. But this book blew my mind. And I thought it was very, very practical what he did. So what I do now, I realize that last, they'll say no. And then last, if you broke rich, I'll move back to my place. At least there's a place there. The family is still going okay. Last, yeah. But we will not get there because we will overcome the fear. So for me, I always think about last. What is the worst case scenario? And the worst case scenario is what? So if I want Genevieve to come on the show, I have 3 degrees of separation. There's somebody that knows somebody that knows. If I get to ask her and she says, what's the worst case that can happen? She will say no is not the worst. The worst case can even be that she will laugh and say, how can I ever be you? Like maybe humiliation. Oh, sorry, don't be angry, auntie. Okay, bye. And I don't think any self-help book can teach me that. So for me, it's what is the last? What's the worst case scenario? And if I can deal with that, then there's no fear.
Yeah, that's a very strong point, and I hope that people will take that away. Imagine the worst that can happen, and prepare your reaction to that, and so that way you're ready to move.
A lot of people are going to be in my house to shoot it, I'm so afraid of them coming to my house because maybe my partner is not a people person. But I don't want to go and rent a space. So what's the worst case scenario? He will get angry. He will not want to eat at home and he will drive out. Something like that. You know, can you deal with that? Just that he won't talk to you for 2 weeks. Something. Say, Bia, let me go and pay the money. Or he won't talk to me for 2 weeks. It's all right because they should come. But you've overcome that fear. So
You've actually been saying that you've given out some nuggets, like low-hanging fruits for somebody who wants to start small. If you can't afford, whatever it is, if you can't afford to rent a studio, do it at home. If you can't afford to get a shop, sell from the boot of your car or online or whatever. Always think, how can you start small and then scale that up. I like to give my friends, because this program is really what I call WinifredUnusual Friends. Just talking about our passion and how to step out of our comfort zone and find expression. So I'd like to give anybody a chance. If anybody wants to ask you a specific question before we wrap up in another 3 minutes. So you can put that on is the book titled Rejection Proof?
That is the book. Thank you.
Oh,
Rejection Proof.
Oh, wow. So, Princess, thank you for that.
Yes.
You can reach me in my DM, and we have to make Ngee give you a gift for that. Maybe, Ngee, let me ask, is there opportunity for, I have a new network, actors and all that, and young upcoming actors. Is there opportunity for someone to come on your set or to join?
Yes, please, by all means.
So I can get any of
my episodes on the next run. Yes, 100%. Yes, sure. We'll curate an episode about.
Okay, so if anybody has any question in the comment section that Ngee can take for us. Okay, yes, so she's given us the full title of the book. Thank you very much for that.
Such a dope book.
Okay, so thanks. Ngee, any last words for you from Winifred's Friends?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me.
For the first time, there'll be other times.
Okay. Yes, for having me. What I will say is I believe that everybody should have a passion. I feel like passion, any life without passion is so bland. And your passion doesn't have to be profit. If it could be profit, that would be amazeballs, right? But you have to have a passion because otherwise everything else is just the usual. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or if you don't go to work, maybe you are a kept woman even. Your husband is rich. So all your bills are paid. So you just get up and look after the kids and do the house stuff. And maybe you have a shop and you're just kind of doing the shop. Ooh, so bland.
Absolutely. I mean, you know my story. You know that I've always had a regular 9 to 5, but I was so overwhelmed with my love for the creative industry. I just said, and like you, I would always bring that into my work. You probably noticed when we worked together that I wasn't your regular, I would always bring that to
ever. Love you. I told you that, by the way.
But I have 3 questions for you.
Because of
I have 3 questions that came in for you. Number 1, when are you going to do giveaway? That's from a mischievous friend on the platform.
Leave that alone. I'm doing giveaway right now.
Number 2, when are you going to come to Ghana? That's from my friend Renee, actually, who hosts a beautiful show, Butterflies and Pearls. In fact, you and Renee should hook up. So she's asking when you're going to come to Ghana. We can probably arrange that. And then lastly, and I think that's a very important question, somebody was asking, do you foresee that your passion can eventually take over your 9 to 5?
Absolutely. Yes, I think it
can.
Be
careful how your employers are probably watching.
They know. And that's why you have to be authentically you. They know.
Yes.
I absolutely believe that one day it will. And I'm working towards that.
Because that's intrinsically you.
Yes, I don't have a timeline, but I just really think that conversations in a light-hearted way, in a way that only you can, should not be kept from the world. So I definitely will get there. I don't know when, but once I figure out how to do it in such a way that, and I'm not even a greedy person, I don't need to be in a private jet or whatever, but because it's a passion, I really want to enjoy it. And let me say this, Winifred, whenever you think about passion, people feel like, oh, I'm always enjoying it, I love getting up and going to work every day. Even Oprah gets up some days and she's like, I don't want to do this. So there are days, even the Ngee show, I'm like, camera set of guests, makeup, it is stressful. You've done your makeup, you get up, you change, the next guest comes, you do a debrief session, you change your hair, put a new lip on, all that stuff. It's stressful, but you love it. You know that there's work that needs to go into it. So when I get to the point where I've seen the balance sheet balance out, I have a more cruising altitude on the 9 to 5 level.
Yes.
But it will happen,
Yeah.
100%. How do you
Great. So,
get views on your show? Oh my God. You keep going. Somebody told me to hug a transformer one time. The person said, please, I beg, are you the only one that I had the episode about phone with Chigal, and the person says the syllabus word. He's and we said people go to England and come back with an English accent in 2 weeks. But you don't see people who go to school in India, even people that go to school in India and Ghana, they come back to Nigeria with a British accent. Why? Or American accent. So I'm like, but nobody goes abroad and says, I just came back from India and I went to the International School of India. They don't do that. They travel abroad, could be friggin' Lebanon, and they come back and like, yeah, I just go back yesterday. So somebody now said, like, NG, if people want to speak like that, they can speak like that. Go and hug transformer. Sorry, don't be angry. You can't let them get to you. Keyboard warriors. God, please. You're telling me to
oh
hug.
my goodness. Wow. Thank you so much,
Ignore
Ngozi.
101. He's looking for who he will poke at today. That's my brother. He's just very
Oh,
upset.
are you serious?
Optimus Prime.
Hello, brother. Well, thank you, friends. You've heard it from Ngozi. Everybody here knows her. So follow her Instagram handle at Ngeeshow. And then if you have any questions, more questions, any comments, please be in my DM and we'll take it from there. Ngozi, thank you. Dalo.
Ballerine.
We'll have you again. Thank you
Thank you,
guys for joining us.
everyone.
This has been Winifred Unusual and Friends, and we look forward to another conversation. Let me know who else you want us to hear from and learn from, and we'll do our best to bring on another friend. Ngozi, thank you so much for your time.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Everyone.
Okay, so how do I let you go now? Okay, that's it. Well, friends, that's it. I really hope that somebody takes something away, from this. Honestly, I'm really passionate about helping people discover themselves. I think I saw that question. Somebody was asking, how do you find out what you're passionate about? Please send me a DM. We've done that in one of the previous episodes. I've got some tools now that I can share with you to do a self-assessment by yourself. You don't need anybody, honestly. And just answer a few questions and it'll begin to nudge you in the direction of your passion. Good luck. God bless you. And thank you, friends. Thank you. I'm going to be here until, let's see. Ada, well done. Thank you, friends.